Bayern Munich beat Borussia Dortmund by 4-2. Dortmund would take a 2-0 lead early on, Haaland with a brace, but then Lewandowski leading the way with a hat-trick would see the defending champions come from behind to take all 3 points, and it's a win that puts them back to the top of the table. Leipzig winning earlier on in the day. However, Bayern Munich remain 2 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga. Let's welcome in, shall we, Aage, Fjortoft and Jurgen Klinsmann to reflect on this game. Jurgen, overall, what a great match.
Oh, fantastic match, Dan. Absolutely fantastic match. I mean, we all hoped for many goals, and it was 6 goals. It started really well off for Borussia Dortmund with the early lead. 2 goals by Erling Haaland. They were on fire the first 20 minutes, and it looked like a little bit like Bayern Munich was still asleep the first 15 minutes. But then, obviously, maybe that's what they need right now. They always need a wake-up call, and they woke up. I mean, after 20-25 minutes, they got better in the game. They started to create some chances. They came back. They scored the 2-1. Obviously, Lewandowski, who else did that? And then there came a crucial moment. It came the penalty kick, an unnecessary foul, through VAR. It got confirmed, but it made it 2-2 right before halftime. Really, really difficult moment for Dortmund. And then in the second half, probably the key moment was when Erling Haaland was subbed out at 60 minutes with an injury, a small injury. But it kind of gave the game pretty much to Bayern Munich, and they really were in control from that moment on. They just grinded until they finally made the third goal through Goretzka. And then who else finished it off like Lewandowski again. Exciting game. It was definitely an exciting game, a great Klassiker. And I think really they deserved those 3 points, Bayern Munich.
And a game we've seen played out so many times this season from Bayern, Jan. Let the opponents have a couple of goal lead and then come back and take all 3 points.
Well, I think all neutrals, they want Dortmund to win because we need some excitement. You see RB Leipzig winning in Freiburg at the top of the league. But the thing is with Bayern, their self-confidence, their passion, their patience for the game, and not to underestimate all the good players in there. And I mean, Jurgen was into it. What about Lewandowski? I mean, now he's 31 goals. He's 9 games after an unbeatable record of Gerd Muller for goals in a season. And he makes a hat-trick. And I just got a feeling today, when you have Erling Haaland scoring 2, it was like, Annie, get your gun. Anything you can do, I can do better. Because you always score goals this man.
Jurgen, when Müller got 40 goals, we thought, that's it. This is never, ever going to be surpassed. But genuinely now, Lewandowski has the opportunity to do that, which is such an extraordinary achievement.
Oh, it would be unbelievable if he could do that. And I think he's on a good path to break that record. Obviously, Gerd Muller is an absolute legend in German football, World Cup winner 74, and he won everything with Bayern Munich and you can win. He basically built the foundation for this club that is now in the top 3 in the world. But Lewandowski, I think really he has that chance. I think all his teammates will play for it. They will pass him the ball wherever they can. They will feed him with balls. And if you give him 2 or 3 occasions per game, he will score. Every second opportunity he has, he will score. And I mean, today it was another demonstration of his strength, of his class. He's just an outstanding centre forward.
And aside from the obvious answer, which is, well, he scored goals, what makes him so good?
Well, I can only compare it with one of the best strikers I've ever seen, and maybe the best number 9 I've ever, seen is Marco van Basten. I mean, his balance, his hunger, his passion for the game, his way. Remember that goal, the first goal he scored, he was down and took the ball from his own half. He was down and started the attack. And who else were there when Sané made his trick on Schulz? I mean, we can talk a lot about defending, but I just like to see goals. And of course, Lewandowski was on the end there and getting the goal. And he scores with his right foot, he scores with his left foot, and he's so well balanced. He's so good trained. He's one of the fittest players in the whole international football. So, I mean, you can't see any weaknesses of him. The only weaknesses must be that he's playing for Poland and he can never win the World Cup. And that is the big difference between him and Gerd Muller and Jurgen Klinsmann.
Jurgen, do you think he gets enough credit, Lewandowski, around the world for what he does?
I think so. Over the last couple of years, really everybody realized how special he is, how good he is, how consistent he is. If it's in the Bundesliga, if it's in the Champions League, obviously Bayern Munich now won 6 titles in a row. It's unthinkable, and he deserved the credit. I mean, there was a lot of discussion about the Ballon d'Or, being European Footballer of the Year. It's about time he got it. I mean, I think he gets the recognition, but he is still hungry. He wants more, and as Jan said, rightfully so. You wish him even that special recognition with his national team, with Poland as well. And maybe there comes some more recognition this summer in the European Championship, because Poland right now has a very good team.
Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Jan, your boy Haaland getting 2 goals. Again, just epitomising his qualities as a striker as being in the right place at the right time.
Well, some will say, in some difficult situation, they said, well, your grandma would have scored there because he's always in that position. But your grandmom will never be there. And he's always there. And you saw that second goal. And if you see that whole attack, he's just waiting to go into that space. And Boateng nodding his head around, where is he? And the big difference between him and Lewandowski at the moment, I mean, he got 12 years of experience, of course, but it's also the players he plays with. Because today, remember, there was a key moment at 2-0. Meunier should have played him an easy 10-meter pass, and he couldn't find him. That is a big difference. It could be 3-0. Probably Bayern would have won 5-3. But anyway, Erling Haaland again had a good game. Dortmund wanted to play a bit more directly today, but as Jurgen rightly said, after he was taken off after 60 minutes, they didn't have anything because they were so deep. So the only way they could do anything was to play that ball above the high-standing Bayern back four. But after Erling went out, they didn't have anything. And then, of all people, Goretzka is there. Even he is a great volley shooter at Bayern. So it's a deserved win for Bayern. They were the better team on the day.
And again, in this clash, Haaland on the wrong end of the result. And Jurgen, you've talked about it before when you were at Spurs. You realised that you had to leave if you were going to win trophies. When is Haaland going to get to that stage?
Yeah, I think that's a discussion that a lot of football fans have right now. That like Borussia Dortmund, obviously they admire Erling Haaland, and they are at a moment right now where they have to kind of really get results badly. They need to come into find a way to get in the top 4 to qualify for the Champions League next year. Obviously, they're not in the title race anymore. They're still in the German Cup. That could be a title, but a player like Haaland wants trophies badly. So it will be interesting how this thing plays out. I mean, when you score as a young kid at 20 years of age, you score 2 goals in the first 10 minutes at Bayern Munich, then you can be sure that these people from Bayern Munich sitting up in the stand, they make a couple of notes. And I said, okay, maybe one day, Lewandowski, is on his way, basically to retire. We better have somebody else, younger, stepping in. Erling Haaland has all the possibilities. He has all the talent in the world. If he stays healthy, if he stays consistent, but he is really special.
Obviously, results kind of going their way today. Eintracht Frankfurt, the only team around them picking up a point, Jan, in this chase for a Champions League spot. If they don't qualify for the Champions League, he's got to go, doesn't he?
Well, I think the plan of Borussia Dortmund is that they have to let one of the big guys go because they need the money. They've lost a lot of money on the COVID, as a lot of other clubs have done, as we've seen later with the results coming in from the reports of the different clubs. I think that they will let Sancho go, but if they're not under the top 4, there are something that will happen. It will start rolling. There will be speculation all over. And then we'll see which club can come up with that money. There have been talking about the clause. The clause will then be next summer. I think that the clause is much higher than the journalists have reported. But still, there will be money to get him. I think that
how much,
if I would...
Just guessing, Jan, how much would that clause be, this buyout clause, obviously?
Well, people are talking about 75 now, but as they say, I do understand that clause is higher.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, because if Erling Haaland is going to be sold this summer, that will be a record fee anyway.
Sure.
But I think that the thing is that if they're not under top 4, and Erling Haaland is in every interview is saying, I love Champions League, I love Champions League. So, of course, there will be some rolling there. But I think that if I was to tip today, if they're under top 4, if they get into the final, maybe get a title, I think that Erling Haaland could stay at Dortmund for one more year. He still wants to play a whole season without 81,000 people. He can play at the yellow wall and not forget, and we should not forget this, he's 20. He has only 16 years left on top level, so he's not like he's not having he has time.
Or more, if you look at Zlatan. Meanwhile, when it comes to the title race, Jurgen, obviously Leipzig kept up their end of the deal, didn't they, with the win to keep it alive. But seeing Bayern and the way in which they are machine-like is how we've certainly described them over the past few months. It's difficult, really, isn't it, to put an argument as to why Leipzig are going to win this?
Well, it's exciting that they are where they are. I mean, we talked throughout the entire season, and now we have 10 games to go still. We hope that Leipzig can keep up the pace with Bayern Munich and give them a real fight. And that's what they're doing. They really give them a fight. And this is admirable. And they play also international football as well. So they're getting used to the highest level of football throughout Europe. So this is a good thing for the German Bundesliga because it keeps on going then after the season as well. I think at the end of the day, Bayern Munich still has another gear in it, in its team, in its spirit, in its desire to finish off first. And that's why, even if we hopefully see a very, very close title race the next couple of weeks, that's going to be exciting. I still think at the end of the day, Bayern Munich will make sure that they hold up, the trophy again.
April 3rd, Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Jan.
Pardon, say it again.
April 3rd. Leipzig against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and we just hope that, because we see now the last years, there's never been a competition. At least now there is some like a competition in there. The most impressive thing with Bayern is then, and players of that caliber, and we'll go at least one with Jurgen in the studio, is that they have that extra gear, and I think that is just fascinating to look at because they're 2-0 behind. And as Jurgen said, that is his first answer. You just feel that's what they needed. And they need Champions League to take that gear in there. So they just do what they can do. Having said that, Nagelsmann and RB Leipzig are doing enough to pressure them. So they're always around there. And hopefully we can go into this April game. And there is a big chance that if RB Leipzig beat them, that would be great for not only for the excitement in the German Bundesliga, it's also good for the brand of the Bundesliga because, I mean, it's started to get into a bit funny when Bayern winning as much as they do in Scotland, Rangers and Celtic just changing who winning nine titles in a row and so on.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.